Hello Collective, thanks for joining me. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for all of those who are supporting my channel. I really appreciate you, and welcome to those who are new. So we're just preparing some cards. Firm foundation jumped out for today's little reading. I'm just literally asking what's the message that the collective need to know right now. Just something that can level and balance us so that amongst all the chaos that's unfolding, we can find a middle ground so that we can all be clear reading from the same page. This isn't a reading to try and change anyone's mind, belief, turn them against anyone, or do something against their will. These readings aren't about that. They're about bringing forward information so that you can use your own discernment to empower yourself and to recognize when you're giving your power away. Remember that we're dealing with subtleties here, things that are very covert in the way that they're played out. You're just being shown a larger picture to help you use your own discernment. And there we have at the bottom of the deck, wisdom. Wisdom comes from knowledge and experience. You can't just read something in a book and call that the wisdom. It's about whatever you've studied, whatever you've read, it's putting it to the test. It's running it through. Does it work? Research, when you move down that route, they will do an experiment and that's all well and good, but it could be a fluke. But it needs to be able to repeat the process and the same outcome. That's why with wisdom, you're following a teaching or a guidance or whatever from somebody that already has been there, has experienced that or whatever. Or you could be the one that's trying something new and it's a tried and tested formula for yourself. So when you hear forget what you know, those times are gone. Now, here, today, and for a long time, you don't forget what you know. You're collecting all of this wisdom, all of this knowledge, and trying to put it into perspective within your own individual lives. So it's about retaining what you know. We've got transformation, which is the death card in the tarot deck. We've got patience, which is the temperance card in the tarot deck. And we've got new beginnings, which that's representative of many cards, but ultimately it is the Ace of Wands, all of the aces, the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords. It's also the Fool card. It's everything. It just encompasses that what you're moving forward to. So for those that I'm speaking to or I'm connecting to, no matter when you see this reading, as it's timeless, with the transformation, it's letting you know that everything that you've been through, that you are not who you were then, today. That much you can hold your hands up and agree with, I'm assuming. But what we do know is you will have gone through very tough times in order to be pushed to breaking point. But then here today, you're able to see that you've withstood quite a lot, regardless of how tired you may be right now. You've withstood the tests of time, and now you literally have got the t-shirt, you've been there, done that, seen that, and you are able to add to the book of knowledge, the book of wisdom, the book of experience. That's why older the better. Not taking away anything from the younger generation, their time is up and coming. They're built from a different stock. These messages are talking to those who have been here for time and are now looking to the future, the new beginning. You will have gone through a transformation. Many people have experienced dark night of the soul, which is a form of depression. But with that, you would have hit a low point, and then the only way would have been up. You would have clawed yourself out of that dark hole to live another day. For those that are here and are struggling, these messages are to let you know that you're not alone. And I'm telling you now, no one is going to be left behind. Everyone is ascending. And so, without trying to force and change a belief that many have held on to, what I'm saying is when you listen to these readings, please come with an open mind. Hold your judgment until the end. And then feel free to place those thoughts in the comments. But with this transformation, what you're learning is that in order to become stronger, if it doesn't kill you, it will make you stronger. Those type of comments or pearls of wisdom, let's say. But it's like, even if you were to place what's being said spiritually or logically, you can't have a fear of being left behind and not be on the ascension process. You care too much to be somewhere, to get ahead. You want change. You're calling in change. The life that you're living, as all of us, may be rubbish, may not. It may show signs of hope, or it may show signs of change. Some of you are feeling cut off and isolated, and you can probably say, my life, I don't want to continue this journey if this is what it looks like. That's what these readings and many, many more that I've put out there, that's what they're about. They're to talk to those who know you're calling in change, but you just don't know how to bridge that gap from here, feeling like it's going to be over, you want it to be over, or there's nothing good to look forward to here, this feeling of positivity in the sense that you can see change coming in. Please remember it's a general reading, so it's going to be a generalized statement. You know your individual lives of where you're at, what's going on. We've got patience. The ascension process, for those that are into it, has been happening from time. It's not going to drag you from this to there. You have to adjust to the energies coming in. And you're also adjusting that no longer serves you. You're releasing it and letting it go. So all of it is a process. Some of you need to be more patient with yourself and understand that it's only painstakingly slow when you're putting a time limit on when it should be. Dates, we all know, can cause problems, but there are ways of telling with time. So when you're aligning to the doom and gloom and everything's going to shut down and that's that, you're going to be whisked away to a whole nother place. How are you expecting to be able to do that if here right now in your everyday life, you're still being rejecting a form of anything. Is that making sense? How can you expect to be mixing with all different forms of ET life if you can't even blend and play nice with all walks of life here? If you're experiencing exclusion right now, and you've only got one form of lifeline that you're checking in, and then that is the very area that you need to challenge and look at, because the wide web is your closest way of reaching out around the world. There are so many people out there giving messages. You don't need to believe in all of them, but you need to know what makes you feel good. I'm not here to change your belief against people, places or things. That's for you. But you also need to be fair to yourself and know that you're not just going to find something and stick to it forever a day. You are encouraged to still go out and explore other things. So those that pride themselves in, I only ever watch blah, 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 then you are limiting and restricting yourself. Everything needs to be challenged. We've got joy. Joy is connected to new beginnings. Endings and transformations, joy is the driver that you're either happy to end something, transition to something else, close something down and begin something new. But that middle point, you will be happy with your decision regardless moving forward. It's either the driver, it's the outcome, or you're happy with your decisions. You're happy to wait because you know in that state, regardless of how long you've got to wait, you are happy. Anything that doesn't align with that, regardless of who it's coming from, needs to be challenged and questioned. We've got soulmate. There's many aspects of that. Soulmate, as we know, or some of you know, or whatever, is when you meet somebody and our paths cross, that you have an unexplained connection. And I'm talking about many of us are coming from the before transformations of I don't trust anyone, I don't believe anyone, and so, well, that's not where you're heading with the new beginnings, because if you can't trust people, as we know, and we've already experienced that, if you can't trust people, how can you go forward and grow and evolve? You need to be able to trust people. But the fine line within that is not to be giving your power away, regardless of who it is. You've got to be open to constructive criticism, not smashing you down, lowering and chipping away at your confidence and self-esteem, not placing you on a pedestal, stroking your ego, giving you false hope, false beliefs and false perspectives of yourself reflected back to you. You need people that are straight up raw with what they see. That's what you're challenging. I may have rose-tinted glasses on, but I rely on the genuine connection of a soulmate, whatever form they may come into, that they will let me know. We all ask. If I'm being a proper fucking ass, I expect someone that I have around me to be able to call me out on it. you would do it for others or not. Because if you're seeing something that's not right, or that is out of character, or shines your loved one's soulmate in a wrong light, wouldn't you be expected to help them, call them out, point it out? Maybe that's what they're here for. Maybe that's what you're here for. We've had to go through the process of everybody getting into that comfortable state of opening their mouth and having something to say without fear of the repercussions. It's about standing in your truth. That is the new beginning that we're moving forward into. You can't move forward on the ascension process if you are still adamant you don't trust people. You haven't got to trust them with your whole depth of your heart, but you will have boundaries, and then they come closer, it's all of that, the inner circle. That's old school stuff that should have been done. If you're still doing all of that now, then you need to calm down with how you're rushing yourself, because it takes a minute. How can you be having and collecting experiences and learning trust if you're just selectively in one place and you're not putting yourself in a position that you can test out your intuition or use your discernment on interacting with different walks of life, different personalities that you wouldn't generally be up around? Until you can put yourself outside of the comfort zone, you're never really going to be in that place of wisdom. So you know your life, you know how to gauge where you're at. And so when we're on about the patience, it's about be real. You cannot skip the steps because you are ascending. It's the layers that go on top. It's the layers that are peeled away. As much as you can face and release and keep it moving, which is why the forgiveness card comes in, the compassion card comes in. The love begins with loving yourself and knowing that it's not coming from an egotistical place. It's knowing that you can say no to things and have no guilt that's connected to it. Selflessness isn't selfish. It's knowing as well, when are you being a martyr? When are you flagging in front of everyone? Oh my God, I carried the weight of the world on my shoulders all week, all day, all month, all year, and I got no recognition for it. Well, it's what we've signed up to do. But the strength comes in recognizing other people's stories, situations, the way that they have moved to get to the same position. There's one clear route, one clear path that leads you straight to jail. There are many, many routes and many, many paths that lead you to freedom. You must always check yourself, check the company you keep, and check the alignment to your values, your virtues, and where you're trying to get to, and see, do they all marry up the same? We've got here isolation, and like I'm saying, there's many of you that are in isolation at the minute, and there's a fear of being cut off. There's a fear of, I don't hold all of the information, I'm not quite ready yet, I've only just started recognizing I'm going through a transformation, and then next thing we're being told everything's shut off, and I don't know anyone else that is interested in the same as what I am, or that they're speaking the same language that I understand. It's within that you need to find a balance. There are many forms of alliances out there You've just got to be prepared to move around to find it. You're part of a magnet that's being drawn in. And the way that you know that is because you're sending out that signal, I'm wanting change, or I want to be aligned with the truth. I'm still struggling to harness and fine tune and perfect my intuition, using my discernment. At this point in time, I don't know who to believe, what to trust, or where the hell I'm supposed to be going. In that moment, you stand still. You stand still, you align yourself with whatever it is that can ground you and center you and balance you. Only for a moment, and then it will come. You can go online and randomly something will come up in your newsfeed. You will know, are you seeing something come up on your newsfeed and you're like, oh no, I don't like that, or I've heard about that and I'm not going to even entertain that. Well, then more fool you. Now is not the time for rejecting things. Now is the time for opening up to every form of information that you can get. It boils down to you are the filter. That's why so much crap is being thrown out there. You're not meant to know the truth or so, because it's got to align with you. You know when you're resisting change. We've got isolation. That's the beauty of the internet, isn't it? Being able to connect with the things that are unfolding around us at the minute, where we're seeing endings of friendships, relationships, workplace, or whatever. There is that uncertainty of the new beginnings. If you remove the timeline, if you've had any experience, let's say, of the readings I've put out before, and I've put many a thing that I can show you of the reading of energy, if we were to just say, what if the big everything that you're waiting to magically happen, what if, let's just move it till, say, 26, 27. I know that's going to be hard for many of you to hear, but for example purposes only, let's remove it, push that timeline to 26, 27, just to focus this year for a minute. When you push that timeline and then you take off the pressure of everything's got to be right and wrapped up and sorted out for here and now, when I don't have time and I've not finished transmuting this energy, or I've just fucking done something and got a black strike and now I'm not going to ascend and I'm going to be isolated and cut off from my soulmates and all of that, calm that panic down. It's not necessary in this moment. You've got time. That's what we're trying to show you, that take a minute, and you don't have to take what I'm saying as fact or gospel. I'm saying listen with an open mind. Place that timeline to the next year, the year after, and leave this year clear for a moment. If there's nothing like what you've been expecting for the past 2-3 years, if we were to just hypothetically say it's not going to be in this year, then what space does that give you? It gives you room to breathe. It gives you room to think. It gives you room to realign yourself with the adjustments that need to come in. It doesn't mean that your belief system says it's never going to happen. I'm not taking that away from you. I'm creating a space for you to be able to think a bit clearer. We've got forgiveness. Forgive yourself and go easier on yourself for a minute. There is no need for you to be subscribed and absorbing, living, breathing, all of this chaos that's there. If you know that that's being orchestrated just for the fun of it, then why are you receiving so much anxiety in the fear of it? No one is telling you you're not ascending. It's already been happening for time, but it's a gradual thing. The more that you can use your discernment, your intuition, the more you can trust your own inner guidance, your own wisdom that you've collected from your life experiences, from the people that you surround yourself with hearing different stories of what people have been through, and so they're everywhere. When you identify that you are staying stuck by choice in an isolated environment, because maybe you don't know what to change to, you don't know where the bridge from here to here is. I'm saying, if you're hearing this message now, whenever you hear it, start looking, because it's coming. Everything is shifting. This is the shift that you're waiting for. It's happening around you now. You're being shaken to your core because the foundation is faulty. The collective that are moving forward with the same message, that are coming from all aspects and aligning together without judgment, with forgiveness, with understanding, that this is it. This is the test. This is, can you change your perspective? Can you let go of a grudge? Can you heal the timelines of the past? Can you let go of shit and keep moving on? Yes, we can. We need, though, many of us, or it's part of the healing process, for things to not be minimized. You can't heal pain if you're minimizing the pain as it's nothing or it didn't happen. It's your experience. There's many that have been through it, so they can identify. They can show you how to love again. Enlightenment. Enlightenment comes from transformation. Transformation comes from the ending of something and the beginning of something new. No one's leaving to go anywhere. Everyone is climbing that ascension mounting, that ascension process. It's just happening. Some get there quicker. Many are maneuvering in and out of different dimensions and frequencies, and have done for time. What we're doing is passing that on and showing people through the heart, which is the key, through the wisdom of experience, through the pain of endings, emotional, physical, financial, whatever it may be. Through that, the transformation comes, and then you are enlightened to an extent. Yes, there's varying degrees. I mean, who do you think you're going to be in this time? Top fucking Buddha, or you're going to be the only truther, top of the tree, blah, blah, blah. There's room for everyone. It's a unity. It's not just a one central point. There are many ways to help you see from a different perspective. Enlightenment is the wisdom that you hold. It is your light bulb moment. Your aha. I'm just being shown as well that many with the isolation, that there is this rejection from families, a guilt of you rejecting families when they've been calling out. Forgive yourself, have patience with yourself, and know you're calling in change. But you're asking to be aligned with the truth. If you push your marker and forget this year and make it a letting go, it's a number 9 year. It's a karmic completion. It's a wrapping up for those that are still just finalizing their releasing that no longer serves them, the moving around, and others that are positioning themselves to be a beacon of light, a pillar of strength. They've been here throughout time. What you're witnessing is the new generation of that. We have the elder generation that they have transitioned, new people come in and fill that space. If you know that there's something that you can heal with a timeline, and it's not about, oh, eat humble pie, eat humble pie. It's saying, if you were gifted this 1 year to just make amends in particular areas, give a bit of healing to old timelines, you've still got your belief your way, but you're just removing this fucking agginess that's been applied to the mix. If we're removing that, you're not going back on your word or whatever. You're promoting healing, and you can only really make that powerful when you can forgive yourself, or when you don't feel shame by changing something that at one point you were very fixed on, let's say. We've got perfection, perfectly imperfect. We don't want everything to be perfect. That's why we came here and we forget. Because if you knew, if you hit the ground fully enlightened, where does the growth come from? What's the purpose of transformation? How do you relive the experience of connecting with soulmates? How do you reignite that creative spark? How do you know the excitement of what a new beginning feels like? How do you know the excitement that comes with co-creating with the universe and with others? That's the whole point. It's about experience of that. You know yourselves that even if you've been in a time of isolation and you feel like, I never used to bother with other people or whatever, many of us didn't, but now the time has changed, everything is shifting. And so now it's like, and now I've got all of these friends, or it doesn't have to stop there. It can continue. Push the timeline if you feel comfortable with that, and then just readjust moving forward. Even if you just put this year, and I know people are like, I can't stand it at the thought of another year. Well, you could if you were readjusting something. You're removing the doomsday bit. The universe, your spirit guides, they are about to show you that these timeline markers that you're holding on by, like grim death, or by your fingernails, or whatever it is, that you're trying to stay in a heightened state of stress and anxiety, and you've just got to make it till the end of the week or get through this day, or whatever it is, that never-ending cycle that is draining the life force right out of you, to only find that here you are, ready to celebrate Christmas 25 and New Year 26. everything will continue. If your soul checkout time and point is already done and cemented, then you'll be transitioning as and when, regardless. But the longer you are here and start realizing that you absolutely are a valuable asset to the whole journey of the new beginning that's continuing to play out, that you're going to be seeing within this first couple of months, and it's already by those that are trying to cause the chaos, the destruction and the confusion, that you're already being breadcrumbed that we're at the end of January. If it doesn't happen now, it'll be end of January. If it doesn't happen then, it's going to be here, it's going to be here. You need to take responsibility for when do you put your stop marker down. There are some of you that have your friends and your families and they are fixated on a particular kind of teaching that we're all seeing is doing harm. Because it's shifted, that it's no longer so much about the teachings, it's now on the celebrity status and the recklessness of what they're going to do next. Deers within the headlights is a very good description of the energy coming forward right now. We've got gossip. We know that that is flying around all over the place. Stay neutral and be careful with this gossip that's being bandied around, because this is where the misinformation is. This is where the manipulation to see things my way, see things their way, and all of that. Let me tell you now, whatever is being bandied around, we're still not at the full transition of what's going on. This is just things being highlighted. This is just the tower moment that is in play. But mark my words, with the predictions that I'm making, I'm telling you now, those that are still playing that manipulation game, they've got a little bit of a way to go, and it's going to blow up and backfire for them. Everything being built for this new way forward is about truth and transparency. No one's being left behind because you've still got time. The vibration of the planet, the people, the everything, even those that are at their highest point of teachings and the most loving and whatever, they still have a bad day. Because things are thrown in the mix to test us. It's about flexibility. Are you so fixated with there's only one route to get somewhere, to get your joy? Or are you open to the experiences? Because, yeah, time is running out. It goes so fast. So why not be here and experience everything? We've got self-worth. Gossiping lowers your self-esteem and it chips away at your self-worth. We're not here to be tearing people down. It's about building each other up. It's not about blowing smoke up each other's ass. Oh, yeah, you're doing good or you're good or da-da-da-da and all of that fake shit. It's about be real with your authentic self and know that people respect you when they know where they stand with you. If somebody asks a question, that it's only fair to have a straight answer back. None of this cryptic fucking thinking you've got to get your whole puzzle book out and try and piece it together of what's the hidden code within all of that fucking shit. It's not about that. It's about just do what you're doing, but make sure you're stood forward in your authentic self. Yeah, we're already doing that. There are some that are saying, but I still feel rubbish, or the outlook on life is still doom and gloom or whatever. Well, like I'm saying, it's a general reading, and until I can know a little bit more about where you're at, I couldn't answer that question. But I am very aware that there's many of you that are in fear that you're not going to, that you're going to be left behind. And it breaks my heart, and it always has done, that people aren't continuing to create this new world, this new future, this new year, whatever it is. You've got to have value in stuff in order to be able to have appreciation and gratitude. And you need to go through the rubbish in order to be able to value that it's good. Perception. It's all about the way that you're perceiving something. You're choosing to see the negative, the bad. Even if you're say, I'm not negative, or I don't view it as negative, it's fine. Everything is neutral. It's the way that you put it across. If you are in the belief right now that everyone is out to get you, then there's something that needs to take a look at. What are you surrounding yourself with within your environment? Where are you drawing your information that is verifying that? Who do you have that you can trust? And that is where a lesson will come. This is why we're seeing now a particular energy, entity, person that are testing our boundaries where the morals are concerned. Look up the spiritual principles. Where are you at with all of your virtues, or your how you follow that? It's not about being religious or whatever, but if you're looking to do your ascension process, then you can use that to see yourself. Where are you at? I know that I do this, or I do that, or I need maybe a little bit more work on that, or I'm not in a situation where I could exercise that or do that or whatever. You've got a whole everything there at your fingertips. Everything takes time. That's why it's been taking time. Take a look back into the 70s, 80s, 90s material, and this heightened sense of imminent change and anxiety that comes with it has always been there. Workaholic. A lot of people have ended their jobs. That's all well and good if you felt the calling, not been guided to do so, because you're not going to need your job in a minute. That's where you'll get the backfire. But many are moving over to working for themselves, becoming self-sufficient. It is also a scary place to be. I know myself that I came under attack from a particular group that had to take me out, shut me down and whatever. So I can tell you the risk that comes from working for yourself and it being your only form of income, as I'm sure many others can contest to that also. But it does give you the freedom to be able to do more and to give back more. So if you're genuinely feeling that call, or if you still are feeling, I feel I want to do more, know that there are ways that you can do more and be more. Again, there's a need to know. I mean, without kind of trying to add it in, but if you are interested in the ascension process, I do offer ascension process readings. It lets you know where you're at with your higher self guidance, what your spirit guides are working with you on, and all of that sort of thing, and the process of what to expect, the different markers, how you can recognize within your physical day-to-day life the things that you're working on with them, or what they need you to incorporate for you to just adjust and fine-tune where you need to be. So the details are in the description box. So yeah, I didn't want to throw that in as a sales pitch, but I mean, it's what I do and it's there. So for those that are interested. We've got workaholic, being careful to not work the whole time to blank out the feeling of isolation, or just going in that mode. There's got to be a balance, work and health, work and social, work and something. It's that you've got to be able to spin all of the plates and keep all of them going. Some are just focused on the one thing. And again, it's that I don't know what to change to do, or I'm blocked creatively, or I'm too old, or I'm too restricted, or I'm too something. There's something that there's a block, a creative block. That's what these readings will help you to do, is how to access that. But you need to be able to challenge yourself, your beliefs, and make adjustments. People come into our lives. We don't ever expect someone to be in our life all our life, do we? We've got vanity. I feel that vanity brings up a lot for various people that are connecting with this reading. It's, what is that word and what does it mean to you? What does it bring up when it's said? Is it seeing it as another, or seeing as yourself, or are you able to see? There's a lot of people that are struggling with receiving. There's everything about giving, but their problem is receiving. That's also a block. You've got to remember, things are being turned around. You can do what you do, or you can say what you know, or what you say, or you can do whatever, but can you receive it? Can you take it back? That is the exchange. It's always been there. The infinity symbol, it's always there. It's that energetic flow. You're already ascending. They're showing me, if there was wherever a flood, for example, for whatever reason, to get out of that water, you're going up to higher ground. You're climbing your way up. Someone may be pulling you up and giving you a helping hand. In that moment, you're accepting the help for them to get up. They're not saying, I'm going to carry you to the top. They're saying, let me help you get over that bit. Let me help you get over that bit. And then you continue climbing. You're getting tired the higher up you're going. It's like, I can't carry on, I can't continue. But you know you can. You can, with support around you, or encouragement, or belief that you can, or belief and knowing in your heart that it's going to be worth it once you reach the end, whenever that may be. Protecting your energy, conserving what you need to get you to where you need to be. It's all of that. But if you're not surrounding yourself with others that are doing it, or so, it's not just like throwing something at you and leaving you to get on and do it. That's why there's so many choices out there. You need to keep moving around. This despondent is the transformation, and despondent. It is a cycle that you get to this stage and you put things off, you procrastinate, or you speak about all that's going to be, but it never happens. Regardless of, put it to what situation suits your story best for your understanding, but we get to this point because it's that stagnation. It's the growth has been reached within a particular situation, people, places and things. It's recognizing that stagnant place and that something's become comfortable, and then it's having that bravery, let's say, to mix up the energy and keep it moving, or do something, or you'll get that restlessness, or you'll just keep going round, or you won't be able to avoid the thoughts that come through, because that's your spirit team, your higher self, that's saying you need something more, you're wanting something more. It doesn't matter if you don't know what that more looks like or how it's going to come about. You just need to be willing to put something into action, put the wheels in motion, and then the rest will start coming towards you. So then that's what happens with the transformation. Sometimes we call in situations which come as a tower moment to pull the rug from under your feet. So then you do have to whack into survival mode, or think outside the box, or wow, I've not experienced this, or that came about unexpectedly, what am I going to do? And you deal with it. That's what that's for. That is the ending. That is the transformation. You've already called it in. And it comes on the back of this despondent, not being happy with something. Okay, so I hope that that's making sense for some of you. I'm just going to see, what have we got with our angel guidance? Please remember to like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out my community tab, because I always just post other videos from before. They're all timeless and things that are relevant to what we're looking into, or just something that might be helpful. You could find something there. Okay, so we have Queen of Gabriel, passionate, charming, brilliant, independent. You can do anything right now. Go after what you want. The ability to attract helpful people. Knight of Michael, strong, committed, intellectual, diligent. Time to move quickly. Choose logic over emotion. Sudden changes. Seven of Ariel. You have invested wisely. Have patience and wait for the harvest. Review your progress and make plans for your next endeavour. So there you go, collective. That is your little reading for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. See you soon. Bye-bye.